Why, hello, my friends. Hope you guys are doing awesome today. I'm a little dressed up, aren't I? Just got done. I was keynoting a virtual conference a minute ago with some folks out in Columbus, Ohio, which was kind of cool. So I figured I would throw on a suit coat like in the old days when I would travel and speak. And I don't know if you guys know much about me, but I do a lot of conference speaking. And so it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy that. Virtual is not quite the same, but it's close. Man, I hope you guys are doing great today. We're going to cover some really cool news, some things that are happening in the world around us, and it's going to talk. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with the market. We're going to talk about should you cloud mine Bitcoin? Some news came out of yet another one, and I'm going to talk about some wisdom. And I was actually talking to a friend about this yesterday, and they're asking me the same question. So it's funny how like sometimes the universe throws you certain things. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why cloud mining is typically not the greatest of ideas and what you should really do about it. So it should be a fun live stream today. Got about 26 minutes free with you guys in my day. So I wanted to jump in. So some shout outs to people that have joined. So Peterson, hey, what's going on? And Beal, Beal? I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, but hey to you as well. Nathan, what's going on? Tony Shib gets me hard. Okay, well, good for you, Tony. I'm glad to hear it. Jackal, what's going on, man? It's good to see you on again. Good talking to you yesterday. It was. You had some great commentary. Really appreciate you jumping in. So where should we get started? I think probably the best way to get started, let's just take a peek at the market. So don't be panicked at all when you see something like this, like, the market's going down. Oh no. I'm a believer that a lot of times these corrections are healthy. In fact, I'm not a believer. I know this. Corrections are healthy. It's good to see the market go up and down and correct a little bit. When you have a huge drop or you have a huge spike in price, it will not stay that way forever. You will always have corrections on the ups and the downs. That's okay. Don't worry about that. Don't panic over that. That's normal stuff. But I'm going to show you somebody panicking here in just a minute. I think it's kind of funny. So yeah, Bitcoin's dropped over the past week, 11%, way down to 59. It's at 58 this morning. I checked it this morning. And here's what you got to get used to, guys. You got to get used to it, seeing like it going down, and you don't panic. You're like, okay, cool. No, just another day in the cryptoverse, right? Like if you're watching the market nonstop and you're panicking over something like that, a 7 to 20% drop, you need some battle scars, my friend, to get used to it. So don't worry about that. Well, what else do we have going on? But some stuff is doing well. It's kind of interesting to see some of it. Solana had been going up and down quite a bit, back and forth. That was interesting to see. Shiba is still blowing up. I can see why. Who was it that said? What did you said? Tony. I had to scroll back up in the comments. Tony, I can see why. Look at Shiba. It's up 139% over the past 7 days, 42% over today. Good for the Shiba folks, the Shiba army. I'm glad for you. I do actually own some Shiba. It's not a game-changing crypto or anything like that, but it's a fun one. And I love the community behind it. It's a lot of fun. So, some are doing quite well. And when I see that, I'm glad to see it, first of all, right? It's good to see some of that. It's good to see some that even over the past 7 days have been doing well. That's just signs of a healthy market moving. Jackal says he sees these corrections as a flash sale. Yeah, dude, I totally hear you on that. Okay, let's jump into some news. So one thing I'm starting to do a little bit more, and I don't source all news from I don't know if it's Alexandria or just CoinMarketCap's news. No clue, but they do usually source some good news periodically through the day. So we know it's pulling back. No big deal. I'm not worried about that. Shiba hitting an all-time high again. Good for them. I think this is funny though. A meme coin has a bigger market cap than Kellogg, TD Ameritrade, or Royal Caribbean. The guys that have the cruise boats, like those big old top-heavy cruise boats? Shiba has a higher market cap than those three companies, those that make cereal, those that do banking, and those that have cruise boats. And you're just like, how is this? Because the market does what the market does. But this is why a lot of these classic financial analysts that don't really understand and know crypto that well, they're like, this is a fake fraudulent market. It's a bubble. It's going to blow up. Well, you and I don't get to make that call, my friend, is what I would tell that financial analyst. The market does what the market does. And if everyone loves Shiba and they're getting into it, good. So there's a lot more commentary I could say about that, but just seeing that it's got a bigger market cap than these three well-known companies, I think is pretty amazing. Robinhood's not doing so well in the crypto space. And let me tell you why. Robinhood, if you're watching today, which I know you're not, you're too late. Like, you had your chances a long time ago. You finally adopted crypto. And when you did, it was, you weren't even holding it. Like, you just sort of owned it, but you didn't get a wallet. And they took a lot of heat for that and whatever. The reason everyone likes Robinhood is because it's free to get started. You get the free stock when you start up with it. And it's sort of like fee-free trading, but it's because they're front running through all of it. So they're making their money on the trades themselves. Since they're sort of like brokering with other trading firms. So I personally don't view Robinhood and crypto together. And I know they desperately want to be, but not doing a great job with it. Okay, so moving on. This is kind of interesting. FTX, I don't use them, but they're a crypto exchange, and I'm seeing them all over the place now. They're sponsoring a Super Bowl ad. That's kind of cool. Again, sports ball. I don't know why sports ball keeps stumbling into my channel. But here it is. And I think this one's an interesting one because it's going to get a ton of airtime. And lots of people know what crypto is now. I was covering yesterday Tom Brady in the live stream, the fact that he's in crypto. I mean, that's cool. That's awesome. It's getting to the mainstream masses. So I can see why FTX would want to buy a multi-million-dollar advertising slot. When they say that, it's probably a 30-second slot. That's how expensive it is. 30 seconds for millions of dollars. But the attention you get out of it's pretty awesome. I see FTX, they're sponsoring a lot of stuff. They definitely have a big budget for that stuff. I don't care about ETH predictions because everyone that talks about predicting crypto prices is always wrong at some point or another, and probably more wrong than they are right. I don't know if you guys know, but on this channel, I don't really do price speculation. I don't like it. I think most crypto YouTubers don't know what they're talking about when it comes to that stuff. And you should never listen to a YouTuber on anything. Don't take anything we say seriously, especially not price predictions. So not going to do that here. I'm no commentary on this one. So, okay, so let's move past some of this. And I told you like not to panic over like the price dropping. Well, some people do. And of course, CNN is going to take advantage of this for clickbaitiness to be like, yo, whoa, this is a warning for investors, a warning, and I'm like, why would it not? Like, this is like the millionth, billionth time that crypto's done this. Stocks do this. Like, everything does this. Like, why are we worried? Why should it not already have been a warning? I don't get the headline at all. It makes no sense to me. But if I scroll down a little bit, there's some interesting comments through all of this. They mentioned that, Elon had said that he owns no SHIB, whatever. And people thought that was going to panic the market or whatever. They mentioned, let me go down here, the ProShares ETF. Remember, I covered this on a different video when I was in Washington, D.C., I think I was. It's not like a real Bitcoin ETF because it's a futures traded ETF. So like it's trading on like futures contracts. You don't actually holding Bitcoin, but it gives you exposure to the Bitcoin world. It's already at 1.2 billion in assets under management. That's pretty good growth, because there's interest in all of it, right? So they cover some of this, but then they cover a lot of people are still like bullish for the end of the year. I told you we don't do price speculation. So hear me. I am not telling you these numbers. I'm just reading what other people say. Okay. So don't hate me on that. Right? So like, 100K is, one that you see here from a group, Paul, Tudor, Soros, and others. Tim Draper, that everyone knows and loves, the mighty Tim Draper. He's even more bullish, saying 250K by the end of next year, not this year. So there's a lot of people saying it's going to do well, but not everybody, right? There's one down here from Panaxora, Gavin Smith. Let's just call him Gavin, right? So Gavin says, we do think 100K is likely, but not this year. And so there's a lot of people that are like, look, we just don't see the continued growth that's there. And it's not just that, like continued news from the SEC, right? Like Gary Gensler is on a warpath against stablecoins. I mean, he is. And I'm okay with that. Like, I talked about this a lot more yesterday, so I'm going to be much shorter on this today. It's okay that they want to regulate stablecoins. They're going to have to, right? But he's starting to get into the territory now where he's annoying me, as if it matters. I'm just a YouTuber. But like, this is going to end poorly, is his quotes. Gary, how the heck do you know that it's going to end poorly? You literally have zero data to say that. Like, I know you're in the consumer protection mantra of why you're trying to regulate. We know that there's more reasons than that. But like, you can't for sure say it's going to end poorly. Now, could we have some major things happen that hurt DeFi overall? Yes. But you know what? DeFi is based on code. DeFi is based on math. DeFi is based on encryption and all the other things that drive blockchain. It's not like, I feel like in his mind, he just sees these huge APYs. He doesn't understand them because he's not that technical, and he knee jerks to this is all fraudulent stuff. And anyone who does their research and really understands who they're doing their DeFi with is like, doing some due diligence takes you a long way in this space. But I get it. He's like, look, it's not regulated. There's no, you're going to get scammed by people if you're not careful. Yeah. I mean, crypto's always been that way. So I get some of it where he's coming from, but like these words here, like going to end poorly. You don't know that, Gary. Like, you can't prove that. So I don't know. This article is a little aggravating to me to see this. I hope they continue to be reasonable and not so, bearish and attack doggish on DeFi. And then the article mentioned some additional things, right? Like apparently Terra Labs is suing the SEC. It's probably not going to end well for them. I mean, it's not going to cause them harm. It's just going to cause them a lot of money. But they're going after the SEC over some of this. There's no doubt we need at least in the US, we need some amount of like agreement over what the heck is happening here, and what it's going to look like and how we're going to line this stuff up. But, I get tired of hearing those, like, it's not going to end well, it's going to end poorly. Come on, let's be better than that. We really should. So there you have a couple news roundup items, but there's one other one that I wanted to share. This one here comes from our friends at CoinDesk, River Financial. I've not heard of them. But there's been a bunch of these like cloud mining Bitcoin operations that have all come up over the years, some fraudulent, some that were like kind of real, but then they went under because they had no clue what they were doing. River Financial is the newest entrant into the market. It lets you mine Bitcoin without having to set up or run machines. And I had a conversation with a friend about this recently. And, what we were talking about was he asked me, he's like, hey, Wes, should I get into mining? I got a friend that's doing it. He's telling me he's making a ton of money. And I'm like, well, it depends, right? Like, it depends on a lot of things. What's your electricity costs? If you actually have the system administration capabilities of keeping that thing running, what about data center for scale and growth, and how reliable is it? Like, there's a lot of costs that go into all of this, and scale costs that go into this, and things you just hadn't thought of. And it's much more difficult than you might think. And so I'll just go on a limb and say this right in the live stream. I think for 99% of people out there, mining your own Bitcoin is a bad idea. It's just not going to get you anywhere. By the way, like and subscribe if you like the content. I'm trying to do more live streams with you guys, but also trying to do some, produce a lot of like produced content as well, just from my mind, things that I care about. I love covering things like cybersecurity, building your own startups. I created this company called Perch a while back and sold it. Love crypto, been in crypto for a really long time. So love for you to subscribe to the channel. And we have memberships, all that good stuff. I also have merch on the way too. Check my YouTube channel. You go to shop at the top of my channel, and I have some cool shirts coming out. I actually ordered some myself just recently. Okay, so getting back into this. So I want to talk about this a little bit, right? So the way that River is going to work is it's sort of like co-hosted or maybe co-responsibility for the way the mining works. And so it's a new service. It's called River Mining, which I'll show it to you in a second. It uses the Bitmain Antminer S19J Pros, which are pretty new. They're doing about 100 terahash per second, right? So I'll show you what that means in just a minute, because you're probably like, well, that doesn't mean anything to me. I have no idea what that means. So I'll explain that in just a minute. So, why should you do this? Well, first of all, you should do this if you want to get into like mining, but you don't want to mess with having it at your house or your garage or your data center, your office, or wherever it may be. But you're still going to have to pay for a lot of the fees, like electricity fees, all that kind of stuff. But they're going to host it for you. They'll keep it online. Supposedly they'll keep it secure and safe and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so brings up that question, like, should I even get into this? Well, if you want to see more, here's River's website, right? Future of Money. You can join the wait list. I am not being sponsored by them, and you can tell I'm not going to be sponsored by them because I'm about to tell you I am not doing this, and I would not do this. And if you ask my opinion, for what little it matters, hint, nothing, don't do this. I just don't think it's worth it, right? So you can purchase your miners, they go live, you earn Bitcoin, they deposit it. Look, I've been down this road before. I know what this life is like. I used to own I don't know if anyone in the live stream remembers Butterfly Labs. They've gone bankrupt now. But I owned a Gen 1 Butterfly Labs miner way back in like 2013, I think it was. And didn't make as much money off it as I wish I had made. And there's a lot of reasons for it. Mining difficulty levels go up, production time to actually get my hands on it, outages, all this stuff, right? And so I've learned that mining is not really it's fun if you want to do it for a hobby, sure. But this thing right here costs over $10,000 just to acquire. So you've got a lot of startup costs that go into this. And so that really brings up this question, like for most people, is it worth it to do this? And I see Jesse saying, hey, from Lithuania, glad you're on. Thanks for joining. The rest of you fine folks, thanks for, I see a couple questions. I'll get to those here in a minute. So let's talk about this for a minute, right? So I checked out a whole bunch of mining calculators to really make sure my math was right on this. So for the most part, like a Bitmain SJ19 Pro is going to get you, it's going to net you about $30 a day at today's current rates. Now, one thing I should mention is if there is a reason you might want to start mining, maybe now is the time, since China banned Bitcoin mining and there was this huge shift of infrastructure out of China and the difficulty levels, you could see them change based upon them moving out of China. So maybe there's a time to get into it. Now is the time. But making about $30 a day, not really that great. And look, depending on which edition you get, I don't know which one River is going to force you into, somewhere between $8,000 and $15,000 to get one of these. So high startup cost, and you make about $30 a day. So is it worth it? Well, we can run some calculators and really get a better understanding of all of this. So like, first of all, let's just go down here and say, what would the Bitmain platform, like what would it earn me if I'm doing this on my own? And I can't do this fully with River because I don't know fully what their electricity costs that they pass to you are going to be. And there's several other factors, but we can get a guess. So let's just say electricity is going to be about $0.01 a kilowatt hour, right? So this is right in the middle. And I've looked a bunch of places. I think putting it right in the middle is fair. Of course, it can be lower or higher, depending on where you source your electricity from. Let's just take current price of Bitcoin, right? And let's do the math, right? So it's going to, at current rates, it's going to make us about $32 a day. Now, here's what miners will tell you. Miners will say, yeah, but that's current rate. So what if we say $100,000 in the future? Did I do my zeros right? Now I calculate it. Now it's making $60 a day. So it's worth more. What I'm making now is not the final price or whatever, because it's going to continue to grow in price. Well, that's a fair assumption to make. But you know what else is a fair assumption to make? So is just buying Bitcoin, right? Like you get that same benefit. So that benefit is not a mover for me. It has no sway, and nor should it have it for you. So you really have to think through, like, do I really want to mine Bitcoin when I can just buy it? What's the difference? Well, let's go and take a look at this. So I've shared this on a video a long time ago, and I want to come back to it. So this is dcabtc.com, dollar cost averaging Bitcoin. And if you really want to make a good investment strategy and you don't want to listen to YouTubers that have no idea what they're telling you about, just go stable and slow, the tried and true method of putting money in periodically. So let's do that for a minute. Let's just say that $30, and I realize you're probably not going to do this as a daily buy. Let's just say you're going to do $30 a day, okay? Every day you have a repeating buy on Coinbase or wherever. I would do it at Coinbase for all the fees you lose off that, but $30. Let's just play theoretically here. Okay, we're going to do this daily, and let's accumulate for a year. And let's say that we started a year ago. So what's really cool about DCA BTC, we actually go back in history and check this out. My $10,000 that it would cost me, going to earn me about $19K. No startup cost, no $10,000 to $15,000 miner I have to buy, no electricity to worry about, no uptimes and downtimes. Literally, all of that's gone out the door. This is why, for the most part, for the average person, and I realize scale changes this, and there are things that make you want to mine. I get it. But for the average person, this is why you just DCA right here. Let's even take this even cool. Let's say that we did this 5 years ago. Okay, let's say back when you knew you should have gotten in Bitcoin and you didn't, you still hate yourself for it, right? I know how it goes. 5 years ago, let's say, but you only did it. Oh, I'm sorry, I have this backwards. We're going to do it for 1 year, but we started 5 years ago. Okay. Same $10,000 invested, but now it'd be worth 45K. See how this works? So play with this and get an understanding of it. Even if you just do monthly and you do a $50, let's say $100 a month, right? So like your cell phone bill here in the States, I'm going to do $100 a month. I did it for a year, 5 years ago. $1,200 is worth $3,600. Not bad, right? Is it like, I get it. It's not the same as me doing this like 9 years ago, 1,000 is now worth. I get it. But like, this is the safe way to grow your investment. This is the way. Much better than trying to get involved in all this Bitcoin mining business. So I saw this come out in the news and I felt like I really should warn, and maybe not warn is not the right word, but just like, let's talk about this realistically. For most people, mining is not going to be the right solution. Doesn't mean it's not the right solution for you. Don't hear me saying that, but it's in most cases, it's not the right solution. So there you have it. There's the news today. Kind of interesting to see what's going on in the market. If you just joined us, we toured through some of the news that's happening. There's some big things happening on the horizon. The crypto market as a whole is down. No big deal. It's not down by a lot. It's just normal corrections. You shouldn't be worried about it. You shouldn't be like this guy here or this article here of like warning for crypto investors. Don't worry about that stuff. Right. So there's your news for the day. Questions that you guys may have for me. I'd love to answer anything. So I saw a few that I'm going to jump into here. Let me scroll back up. So you guys ask me this on every live stream. It's okay. How do I feel about Pi Network? Pi is super cool. It's worth $0 right now because it's all still in testnet. I think Pi is interesting because it's more of a social experiment to me. There's not a lot of crypto projects that have 20 million plus users. It's sort of viral in its nature. I will not get into price speculation at this point because it's impossible. Like it's purely speculation. We don't have enough answers. We don't know how much total supply there's going to be. We don't know when it's going to be released. We don't know how it's going to be released. There's a lot of things we don't know. The Pi core team, if they're going to get closer to mainnet, and they should hear me on this, and I do talk to the core team on occasions. If they're getting close to mainnet, everyone says it's the end of this year, beginning of next. If it's the end of this year, they really need to start getting public about it, what it's going to look like, how they're going to do it, answer some of these release questions, all this. That's why I don't think December seems like not super likely. I could be wrong, but like if I am on the core team and I know it's going to be a December release to mainnet, I'd be hitting the airwaves now, really talking about it, what it's going to look like, why they're doing it. They need to get in front of it. So who knows? Okay, what else do I see here? Okay, so Lima is asking about Orion protocol. I looked into Orion a while ago. Haven't really dove into it. So I don't have anything intelligent to tell you other than it did catch my eye a while back. So I'll have to take a look at it. So I've heard a little bit about ORE. Again, I think it's definitely cool. And I don't know if you mean a gym. When you say a gym, you mean like a gym because it's valuable, or you mean like a 10-set gem in the 10-set ecosystem. Not sure what you mean by that, click baster. But I will say I do like tokens that have use cases. If it's a genuine partnership with people as big as Unreal and Microsoft, that's super cool. So yeah, I don't have a ton of intelligence for you on that yet, but it's come across my purview and I'll have to dive into it a little bit more. Which hardware wallet is best for security? There's two out there that you should really use, like I would just say, I hesitate to say too much about hardware wallets at this point, not just for my own operational security, but Trezor is a good wallet, and you can search for comparisons to Trezor and find a good wallet that's for you. Is probably the best way to say it. Hardware wallets, if you secure them properly, are the best way to secure your crypto assets long term. So just say it that way. Mufasa, enjoyed the Secret interview. Thank you. That was super fun. I would like to have Brendan back again. I have some additional things I'll be talking about with Secret over time. Secret's been doing really well. I love its roadmap. I love their solutions. It's been growing. It's not hard. It's hard to get into, but then once you get into it, you're like, okay, I get it. So if you haven't seen my Secret interviews and reviews, go check those out. They're all on my channel. Is FEG a promising coin? Well, again, I don't do price speculation here, but what I like about FEG is I like its roadmap. It's not just like your typical everyday burn token. There's more unique use cases to it than just that. It's not, so I don't know if you guys saw this, but I created this Dictator Coin the other day. I made this video on how easy it is to make these scam tokens. Be wary of scam tokens. I literally made one in 30 minutes with $150. I made my own like promo video, it's a fully functioning crypto. I can even show it to you on BSC scan, I think. Yeah, here it actually is. This is the actual token that I made. Dictator token. And some of my friends have actually bought some, which is kind of funny. Looks like someone bought a whole lot of it recently. But Feg is not like that. I mean, Feg is definitely a meme coin. It's got the burn mechanisms, all that kind of stuff, but it has use cases with it and their liquidity pools and their exchanges and the token and Feg rocks and all that other stuff with it. So I'm a fan of Feg. I like it. Still buying it, still holding it. I'm definitely a fan of it. I like its technology. The rest of these, some of these I don't know about. So I'm probably not going to give you any answers. Like Raven Coin, not super knowledgeable about it. So I'm not going to try to make anything up on that. And then Thomas is saying that Pi could launch on Pi Day 2021. That'd be smart, both from a marketing angle and just timing. It gives them time to promote and get it going. So I think that makes sense to me too. I could definitely see that. No, I'm not familiar with Seek, or however you say that. Don't know that one either. So this is the problem, right? I do these live streams and you guys are always asking me about unique ones. And sometimes you guys are the ones that point me into ones that I really end up liking. So I don't know anything about that one. So anyway, I've got a couple minutes left. It's been really fun talking to you guys today. Hope you guys enjoy the live stream. Definitely share this out with friends if you want anyone else to see it and take a peek at it. But I really, really do love jumping into like the news items that are happening and how you should frame up and think through those kinds of things. Dennis, am I still bullish? I don't know what you mean. Bullish about like the whole market. If you mean the whole market, yeah. I mean, this to me, this pullback is healthy. All good markets should do that. Shouldn't worry about it. Long term, everything's great, right? No need to panic. And I'm not the kind of guy that tries to play the market or anything like that. So yeah, I'm still bullish in the sense that like I'm okay with it, right? No big deal. Okay, guys, that is all I have time for today. It's been super fun. One thing I'd love for you to do is definitely hit the like and subscribe, share this out, hit the bell icon on my channel. Check out memberships if that's right for you. Don't have to do it, but I'd love for you to do that. Check out some of the merch I've got going on, all that good stuff as well. And it's been fun chatting and connecting with you guys. So really, really appreciate you guys spending some time with me. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.